Sometimes, when I make a great effort, I can remember her scent, the sweetness of her breath. Serena. Serena? Why can't I see you more clearly? Why can't I even remember?
You always put too much salt in, dear. Think about your pressure.
Serena enjoyed spice in our life. I preferred it more bland. We were so different on some points. The furniture came with the cabin. Considering how off the beaten path this place is, that helped make up our mind. Sometimes she would brush her leg against mine under the table when we were eating. A curious, sensual thrill. So much wisdom and happiness in this bookcase. My life would have been much poorer without all this. The smell of old books is intoxicating. What happens to wood pulp as it ages gives it that distinctive vanilla smell. I loved it when we took down one of my favorites and curled up on the bed to read together as the wind howled outside on cold winter nights. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. A lot of rarities and special editions here. I didn't lend out my Necronomicon, did I? No, of course not. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. A lot of rarities and special editions here. I didn't lend out my Necronomicon, did I? So many afternoons spent in this armchair. This window never got much attention. Then again, the view isn't nearly as spectacular. Priorities, right? I guess it's covered with grease and grime from cooking, mostly. There's probably nothing out there that I want to see, anyway. All the stuff I care about is inside. Well, except for Serena. She made this with her own hands. She was really good. There's a strand of blonde hair in the comb. Yes, blonde hair like sun rays. I'm remembering. What's wrong with my memory? Did I have a stroke? Hers. I used it too, when shaving. They prevent my blood pressure from skyrocketing. Doctor's orders. And Serena's. These keys are for the cabin and the car. If the keys are here, does she have her spare?
Dearest, how do I say any of this? I like your way with words, but if I don't write this, I don't know what I'll do. My life feels so unreal now, dreamlike, but wonderfully so. Let me try, even if clumsily. The hours I spent with you when we last met are precious to me. I was so lost such a short time ago. Everything seemed drained of color and feeling. I think we were meant to find each other, to bring meaning to our lives again, make sense of the confusion shrouding both of us. When we stepped into the crystal silence of the snowy woods, away from the chatter of the guests, all nature seemed expectant, as if holding its breath, witnessing a rare moment of something infinitely better than what life in the ordinary run of things has to offer. Do you remember how the light crust of the snow glittered in the reflected light of the country house? how the copse of trees in which we walked was haloed with a magical aura. I felt the chill of the night air, and you opened your coat and enfolded me in your arms, and we hugged tight, sharing the warmth, sharing the only thing any of us have to share on this earth when you think about it. And then you toppled us on the snow, you devil. We laughed and rolled around, my head already spinning from the wine and crisp, pure night air and the stillness all around. We lay back, and I gasped when I realized what I was seeing. The luminous starscape, like a vast velvet cloth sprinkled with powdered sugar, like it can only be seen in the countryside. I had tears in my eyes when I turned to you and we kissed, and it felt like the only moment in all of time, or outside time, and ours was the only spark that could ignite the universe. You gave me these moments. You complete me in ways I never knew to dream of. Let me be the one who makes sense of the confusion whenever you feel lost again. We can make our own world against the rest of the world if need be. Together we can silence all the demons, heal all the wounds. I love you. In eternity yours, Serena.
I still can't understand. Even the features of her face feel hazy and distant, like remnants of a broken dream. Comme une évidence, Serena's favorite perfume. It's a beautiful day, though there's an unnatural calm surrounding the area. We used to keep a pitcher of water and a glass on this nightstand, but they're not here now. The clock is a trophy from our flea market adventures. Chalk this particular purchase up to "Every cabin needs one." The ticking begins to feel homey after a while. The first night was a nightmare, though. Our refuge from the world. A place of warmth and passion. Sometimes we joked we needed to be so far out in the woods because that's how our sex life was. Far out. She adored all things of nature. I remember her long walks out in the woods. Curiously, we never brought many plants inside the cabin. We were surrounded by so many outside, I guess we were saturated by them. At least I was. She is fairly religious. Not me. I'm the cold and cynical bastard. But I don't remember that ever being an issue between us. She always thought our relationship was a blessing. God, how I miss her. No longer the cynical asshole, I guess. Her faith came as a surprise to me. She was never prudish about sex, so I just didn't expect it. I guess people simply aren't that predictable. No, I don't want to read right now. I have no need for the words, and maybe I should have let her bring some plants inside. She liked them a lot. A plant is a plant. Beautiful. They say these things are alive. If they are, it must be a horrible existence, confined in their own silent, dark... She used to keep magazines, paperback novels, usual stuff on these nightstands when we were staying here. Quite a large armoire for our admittedly Spartan needs. She uses most of it. We all have our... I'm not sure. Maybe later. There's nothing of interest inside the closet.
Look what I made, hun, in case we ever need to sweep something under the carpet.
Come, love, with peace in your heart, said Niamh of the ice blue eyes. Blue eyes. It's based on an Irish folktale. Warrior poet Oisin goes to Tirnanog, a Celtic otherworld known as the Land of Youth and Promise. Niamh is of the Fey folk, the fair ones, fairies. Weird mix of doggerel and artistry. The elemental imagery is evocative, but the language and structure are a bit quaint. Still, some lines jump out at you. I've always been drawn to things that are kind of both good and bad at the same time. Maybe because that's so like life. My grandma introduced me to these old legends when I was just a kid, in between stories of what she could still remember of her childhood in the old country. Weird mix of doggerel and artistry. The elemental imagery is evocative. Something draws me to this trunk. Is it the memories locked within? Or something else? We use this trunk to store trinkets and papers, but I can't help thinking there's something of importance inside. It's too painful. I want to, but not yet. The table is worn but sturdy, just like our relationship was. Or is. I just don't know anymore. Sharing meals with a good red wine was one of the great pleasures in our relationship, especially in the intimacy of this cabin. I should probably eat. Can't remember the last time I ate, yet I don't feel hungry. I have more pressing things on my mind right now than culinary exploits. The stove looks like something from World War I. Considering how basic and ancient the kitchen is, it's a wonder what we manage to do with it from time to time. Well, she mostly.
Feeling peckish, dear?
The stove looks like something from World War I. Our dining table. Quite modest, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This was taken on that crisp winter night at our mutual friend's hunting lodge. We came back indoors, laughing, giddy as teenagers. It was truly like an enchanted time, like we were in a magic circle where no sorrow or pain could touch us. My love, we don't have a lot of photos of ourselves as a couple, so this one is quite important. The guy who snapped this, our host that night, used an actual film camera. It was a different world back then. My love, we don't have a lot of photos of ourselves as a couple, so this one is quite important. Someone said, work and love are the only things that ever really happened to us. Was it Freud? Or Marilyn Monroe? Did I let my work destroy my love? Writing was so all-consuming for me, yet I made so little headway in all this time. It all seems so meaningless now, drained of everything that made it worth reading in the first place. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers, a lot of rarities and special editions here.
Come sit with me. I want to talk. There's something I have to tell you. I have been trying, and believe me, I've been trying so hard.
I almost have it. What was she trying to tell me? The most comfortable spot in the cabin. Well, along with the bed, of course. I can imagine her cuddling up to me even now, putting her hand under my shirt. Of course, we made love here, too. There was no place in the cabin we didn't before things deteriorated. The most comfortable spot in the cabin. All those moments we sat at this table, laughing, smiling, simply looking in each other's eyes. Will we have them again someday? This table has seen many happy times. The meals we shared, or when we just used to stay up late with a bottle of wine and talk. Oh, how we talked. I sure hope she comes back soon. We can sit down and discuss our problems, like we always did. We could always work things out. I could tell plenty of stories about this table. To be honest, I'm surprised it's still in one piece. The dining table was well worn even when we acquired the cabin. You could tell from its appearance that it had been the centerpiece of many happy occasions, and there were many more to come. Our dining table. quite modest, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I could tell plenty of stories about this table. To be honest, the dining table was well worn even when we acquired.
Is it my imagination, or are you using even more these days?
She had a point. I am on medication for blood pressure, after all. I'm determined to make a change when she comes back. Yes, no more indulgences. I want to do things right. It's not the healthier type, just regular table salt. I always planned to switch to mineral or sea salt, but then I always ended up buying the regular stuff. Doctors, they always overreact. I must be even more exhausted than I realize. Here I am staring at a salt shaker, my thoughts a million miles away. It's not the healthier type, just regular. Our dining table. Quite modest, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. When did we let this window get so gunked up? There didn't seem to be much reason to keep it clean. Just overgrown bushes outside, brambles and thistles. I should clean the cabin. As a surprise, perhaps. No. Better wait until she gets back. I can make out nothing through this window. There was a time, long ago, that all this disrepair felt oddly homey. All the windows are drafty, but like everything else, we just got used to it. We liked it, even. I can make out nothing through this window. Why? I might just as well stay here. We seemed to take fewer and fewer walks as the years went by. Everything around here is so familiar. Everybody thinks that living out in the middle of a dark, dense forest is so romantic. Nothing but you and nature. Serena and I thought so too, once. That is, until the loneliness kicked in. Why did we choose this place? We were both so young and spontaneous. Why did we suddenly decide we should let our love wither away in a still life? The sunlight is so bright here. In other circumstances, this would have been the perfect afternoon for us. There's a crack in this window from a tantrum she threw some time ago. It wasn't the only thing she threw. Not exactly perfect soundproofing. The sunlight can be confusing, oppressive, as if pregnant with some ill omen. Or is the stress finally catching up with me? The sunlight is so bright here. In other circumstances, this would have been... How could I possibly forget the color of her hair like that? Even for a moment. She was my girl with the sun in her hair. What's happened to me? I liked to watch her comb her hair before she came to bed, but that was so long ago. At some point, I just stopped. She also had a brush, but I can't see it anywhere, nor some of her other personal items. It's just a regular comb bought from a supermarket, new enough to still have all its teeth. I never noticed it before, but there's a tiny crack in it. Well, it's a hairline fracture. I still remember when this thing smelled of fresh paint. How did I miss everything getting dinkier, more worn? We should have renewed our life somehow, but money was always so tight. After all these years, it permanently smells of her and her perfume. The last thing I need now is to see myself in the mirror. I must look awful. There's dust on this, too. It's everywhere. After all these years, it permanently smells of her and her perfume. She always reminded me to take these. I never asked her to. She just did it. I've been so immature about these. Even resorted to the old pill under the tongue trick more than a few times. She deserved better.
Please take it. It's not just that I worry about you. I don't want to bury my pig-headed husband.
Beta blockers. I have high blood pressure. I'm only supposed to take these before meals. Not a big fan of them. They do tend to alleviate my headaches, though. Beta blockers. I have high blood pressure. Proust wrote all his life about the associative power of tastes and smells. He spent his last years in retreat from the world, though, writing in a cork-lined bedroom. It's too tangy, too poignant. Brings it all back.
Do I even matter to you anymore? Do you even notice anything I do, how I look, how I smell?
She once told me how I supposedly used words to fool her somehow, but what did she think this stuff was? Natural? How was I supposed to react when she used this anyway? She knew I loved her. It's not like we have to say it over and over again. The smell of this disgusts me. So many lies, so much deceit. She probably left it here just to spite me. All of this, these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship, they're all lies. I couldn't care less about this damn thing. I torture myself trying to remember. I'm too upset to even think straight. I hate her so much. All of this, these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship.
Where are you going? Oh, that's rich. Just run away.
I just needed to blow off steam, to be somewhere else, just for a while. But I can't even remember what we argued about. Unless she was the one who left. I couldn't care less about this damn thing. I torture myself trying to remember. Too upset to even think. I hate her. All of this, these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship, they're all lies.
Dearest, how do I say any of this? I like your way with words, but if I don't write this, I don't know what I'll do. My life feels so unreal now, dreamlike, but wonderfully. And then you top.
That incessant noise. I should smash this useless antique to pieces right now. It can't keep the time for 5 minutes straight. Chimes completely at random and never stops making that infernal noise. But hey, guess who thought it was so cute? This thing has caused me more sleepless nights than I care to remember. No wonder I'm going crazy. I couldn't care less about this damn. I torture myself trying to remember.
Why must I always be the one to fill the damn pitcher?
When did the place get so out of hand? I hate dust, and so did she, but here's a whole freaking cake of it. If I kicked the nightstand, the dust would billow up and swallow me like a desert storm. I'm too upset to even think straight. I hate her so much. The stains on this bed suddenly make me mad. Angry, even. Why must life always end up so sordid and hateful? I'm not crawling in there. I'm too riled up for that, and it's just not dark enough anyway. All of this, these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship, they're all lies. It's finally sinking in. She's not coming back. Nothing in this cabin will ever change again unless it's by my hand.
We don't have any more light bulbs. I'm sick of this thing anyway. We're chipping away at what little money we have because of a piece of junk.
I couldn't care less about this damn thing. It's just a book. What good will reading a fairy tale do me? God has never been there for me when I needed comfort. Why would he want to go out of his mysterious ways to help me now? Why torture myself trying to remember? Stupid, feeble-minded woman with her silly, menial things. It was she who didn't deserve me. I wouldn't waste my intellect on this sublunary distract. She probably cared more for this plant than she cared for me. I'm too upset to even think straight. I should tear all her filthy, disease-ridden clothes apart and burn them. Everything she wore, just to lure me in. Not even these violent impulses give me the strength I need to open the armoire. What is wrong with me? I hate her so much. unchangeable man, insolent wretch. Ha ha, sounds like Serena, all right. Her father's realm. She was a daughter of the Celtic sea god Manannán. What was it? Maclur? Scholars say Niamh's divine father, Manannán, was of an elder race even more ancient than the Tuatha Danann. All of these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship, they're all lies.
I sit here on the train, taking me to my final farewell to the ones who brought me to this world. I see the smiling couples on their way to new adventures and think, that used to be us. We had joy and laughter and friends once, but a memory is not the thing itself. You're very good at letting things you don't want to face slip off you. You continue as if nothing has changed, lost in your own lifeless world. Words and dreams may be enough for you. You know what? You'll get a chance to test that soon. I question how I once saw things. How much of what I thought we had were my own feelings, and how much of your manipulation, because you are so very good with words, aren't you? You knew how to use them when we met, and for the longest time, I went along with the romantic whirl you conjured up around our shabby, isolated existence. Oh, it took me long enough to see it for what it was. And there were these moments that you swept me off on foolish flights of fancy, when I threw myself into your fantasies. You wove your spell, plying me with your magic and with wine in equal measure, and I was taken in like the lost little girl I was. Do you realize all the pain you've caused me? They say if you have to ask whether someone loves you, you already know the answer. Protestations to the contrary can no more convince me any more than I can make my own mother or father draw breath again. Your aloofness tells a different story. I no longer know what you're thinking. With my parents gone and with your refusal to even accompany me in my time of need, something broke. Or maybe it happened long ago, but I never saw it so clearly before, even after everything. I don't make you feel comfortable? Really? That's all you have to say? I won't waste any more life waiting for things that'll never come. Of course, that's what you expect me to do. Play the good wife so no one will laugh at you for being the failure you are, to shield you from the truth of your existence. Lost in your books and vapid verse, blithely drifting into the mists of time, as if not even a footnote, when you could be raking at it if you'd only used your words for anything other than personal indulgence. You talked and talked about your path, the winter blueness of my eyes, all that nonsense. And the years rolled by, the seasons came and went, on, you pursuing your dreams that will never be, lost in your damned words, looking for clues you'll never find. I'm sure you're doing it even now with your rotting books. You took the best years of my life, and gave only empty words in return. We've gone as far as we can, and something's got to give.
It's just a bunch of schmaltzy junk, a shrine to naivety. I don't see anything else of value. I should just destroy this useless junk. But not even the venom inside me gives me strength. I couldn't care less about this damn. Why torture myself trying to remember? The jewelry box. What is it doing here? I'm too upset to even... I hate all of this. I'm too upset to even think straight. She's angry now. Part of me realizes I should be more shocked by this, but for some reason, I just feel numb, beyond it. She was lying to me and manipulating me all the time. Why did I let her do that? I'm the one who should have been scowling. She played me like a harp and made me look like a complete idiot. I hate her so much. All of these pathetics. Truth is, I could have used this spice to get some of her abominations down my throat. She never had any sense for balancing a meal. It was either spicy hot or cringeworthy bland. I was used to much better fare before my family fell on hard times. Almost empty. So typical of you, Serena. Not one limit. I couldn't care less about this damn thing. Why torture myself trying to remember?
Yes, go ahead and empty the whole salt shaker on your meal. I hope you choke.
She was always yammering about the salt, feigning concern about my blood pressure. Should have emptied this into her lying throat till she vomited. If she were here, I'd rub salt into her wounds all right, just like she's rubbed salt into mine. I'm too upset to even think straight.
Sit down. We need to talk.
When did it go so wrong? This was supposed to be a... We weren't supposed to fight here.
You just don't get it, do you? You never do.
I hate her so much. Her wedding ring or mine? But what is it doing here? Oh, please, no. It's hers. I can't believe she would just leave it here. Where the hell is she? No. It can't be true. No. No, I didn't do it. I need to wake up from this nightmare. All of these pathetic souvenirs. I remember how happy these made her. She smiled. That wonderful smile. I must have gifted these to make amends or something. Or did I? Did I ever gift her anything? She loved her trinkets more than she loved me. Right? I couldn't care less about this damn thing. I tried to be charitable with her, but what did it get me? Honestly, she could rarely carry a tune, so her humming habit got on my nerves. My wife has no indulgence given except what comes to her from heaven. We eat little, we drink less. This earth breeds not our happiness. William Blake. Never those dry, blackened omelets again. Good riddance. She actually threw this at me once. She could have killed me. That's how the bedroom window got that crack.
Here's your stupid omelet.
Heavy damn thing. Cast iron. Why torture myself trying to... I'm too upset to even think straight. I want to hurl the whole damn lot into the lake. Or just tear at the pages until the wind sweeps them away. Some of these started a mildew long ago. Nothing gold can stay. Frost. All those words. Those damn words. My whole life's been consumed by them. Now I have none left to say. I hate her so much. This armchair. This is where we had that talk. That damn...
I've been trying so hard, but we lost something along the way. Did you get my letter? Will you just listen to me for once? God, you're always... Wait, where are you going? Don't walk away from me.
All of these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship. I couldn't care less about this damn thing. It's like looking into my own soul right now. Did I see shadows move? No. Just my imagination. It's like the whole world is against me. Even my mind is playing tricks on me. Why torture myself trying to remember? I'm too upset to even think straight. All the real color faded from it long ago. It must be full of dust mites. I should burn it. I told her the rug was fine work, like I know anything about handicrafts. But it's what the Empress wanted to hear, wasn't it? I hate her so much. All of these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship, they're all lies. I tried to flush these a long time ago, but someone noticed, as if she cared about my impotent life. High blood pressure. What a load of bull. I've never felt better in my life.
I'm sick and tired of having to pamper you like a baby. Fine, I hope you have a great, lonely time at the hospital.
I couldn't care less about this damn thing. How could I have been so blind? Her vanity. Always fixing her hair before bed. Doting on her hair like a child. But I'm being unfair. Would I have wanted her to be some frump? I'm too angry to even care. All she cared about was herself all along. Her needs, her feelings. That's all that ever mattered to her. What about mine? Why torture myself trying to remember? I can't even bear to look at my face. She's really done a number on me. She never descended to criticizing my looks, though. Even when we fought, even when my hairline started going. But it was a sore point for me. My thoughts are all over the place. Get it together, damn it. I'm too upset to even think straight. I hate her so much. All of this... But I couldn't care less about this damn thing. Sunlight. Birdsong. Nothing feels worse when there's no hope. No chance of anything. The light is so dim here. Makes me want to chop down every tree outside. There's only a limited window of opportunity for everything. And I wasted mine. Why torture myself trying to remember? I'm too upset to even think straight. I hate her so much. All of these pathetic souvenirs from our relationship, they're all lies. I couldn't care less about this damn. Why torture myself trying? I'm too upset to even think straight.
Do you realize how stupid this was? We had a plan.
My God.
We took measures to ensure nothing
What is
like
this?
would happen.
It
But
can't.
you couldn't help
It
yourself.
isn't. How did it happen?
Moving it now,
I
the bulldozers are
can't
coming
remember.
any minute.
It's already rotten beyond recognition. But how much time has passed? It's dry and withered. A body takes at least weeks to... How long has it been? I can't even remember how I did it. Maybe I didn't. Do I have brain damage? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you realize how stupid this was? We had a plan. I took measures to ensure nothing like this would happen. You couldn't help your damn self. We can't risk moving it now. The bulldozers are coming any minute.
He spent much time here.
Do you think they will buy it after all this time?
Fire will do it.
Those noises sound like more than one person. Who can it be?
Give me the kerosene.
The police? Are they coming for me? I deserve it, but I want to see who it is first. There's something about those voices. I must
Do you
know.
realize how stupid this
The window.
We had a plan. I took measures to ensure nothing like this would happen. But no, you couldn't help. Do you realize how stupid this was? We had a plan. I took measures to ensure nothing like this would happen. But no, you couldn't help your damn self. We can't risk moving it now. The bulldozers are coming any minute.
Fire will do it.
Do you think they will buy it after all this time? It's been months since you...
Don't worry. It's all covered. He spent much time here.
Fine, give me the kerosene. Oh shit! We forgot your... Fuck! It was so stupid to leave it. Why did you do that?
Can you calm down? I couldn't bear to wear it any longer. It's in a safe place. We'll pick it from the ashes.
No! Not like this! Please! No!